Okay, hello accounting students. I've had a couple of you ask some questions about the Section 10 assignment where we analyze the routing of a check. So I just want to put this quick how-to video together for you. So what we're doing is we're describing the process of a check and from when it's written to when it's cashed and so on. That's what this part means, identify how the check is processed. So, but first we're going to identify the drawer and the drawee, and then the drawer bank and the drawee bank. So, the reason I want you to use this template is because I actually give you a scenario. I think the regular assignment tells you to make one up yourself, but I thought it'd be easier if I kind of put one together for you. That way you can identify each of these parts. So in this situation, Mr. John issues a Bank of America check of $1,000 to Mr. Rex, and then Mr. Rex realizes the check through High Bank. Okay, so that all this is telling us is that Mr. John banks at Bank of America, and he wrote a check for $1,000 to Mr. Rex, and realizes is just a fancy way of saying cashes the check through his bank, which is High Bank. So in this situation, I need you to identify the drawer of the check, the drawee of the check, the drawer's bank. So whoever is the drawer, what bank are they with? And same with the drawee. Okay, so I'm not going to do those for you because I think you guys, judging by your last assignments, you have that figured out pretty well. What I had most questions on was identifying the process. So this is the part where we're going step by step, kind of basically who the check changes hands between. So in step one, the very first person that has this check is Mr. John. Okay, so that's all you have to do. Step two is it changes hand. He writes the check to Mr. Rex. And then step three, Mr. Rex is going to take that check to his bank, which we saw up here in our scenario, that Mr. Rex goes through High Bank. So step three, Mr. Rex, after he accepted the check from Mr. John, takes it to his bank. So once it's at his bank is going to contact Mr. John's bank, which we discovered was Bank of America. And his bank's going to contact Mr. John's bank and say, hey, I have a check here that's requiring me to take $1,000 out of one of your customers' accounts. In this case, it's Mr. John. So Bank of America then accepts the check from High Bank and gives them the money to give to Mr. Rex from Mr. John. Is basically how this all works, okay? So I know the directions really didn't explain this very well, so I apologize for not getting this how-to video out sooner. And then step 5, if you'll see up here in this hint, step 5 identifies to Mr. John that the check has been cashed. So what tells us, or what lets Mr. John know that the check has been cashed and processed? That is our bank statement. Okay, and that's all there is to that section. Again, it's just identifying the process of the check. Mr. John wrote the check. He then gave it to Mr. Rex, who then cashed the check at his bank, who then forwarded that check on to Mr. John's bank saying, hey, give us some money so we can pay our customer. And then it is recorded onto a bank statement for Mr. John to notify him that the check has gone through. So that's the entire process. And then part 2, this is you are explaining the potential causes for discrepancy between the balance of your cash and bank account, so the bank statement, and then maybe what you've recorded in a checkbook. So when you're, we talked about reconciling the bank statement with your checkbook, and we covered that in our last Class Connect session, so tune into that if you are confused by that at all. And we also talked about there are 3 major causes of difference of why our balances might not match up with the bank statement. So list and describe. Here's your clue. There are 3 different major causes of difference. Okay? So that's your clue for part 2. And that is it for this next assignment. So let me know if you have any questions.